from Simply Dynamics, and I'm just going to do a 3-minute introduction, and then I'll hand over to Casper from Taslet, who'll do a demo and presentation on their mobile WMS app, which is built specifically for Dynamics. Okay. So for those of you who don't know us, we're Simply Dynamics. We're a software company based in Dublin, and we do Dynamics 365 ERP and CRM solutions. It's all we do. We don't do any other products or do any hardware, etc. So we're specialists in Dynamics 365. These days, we're a cloud-first organization with our solutions, but on-premise options are still available where required. And we've deployed about 150 sites over the years, Dynamics sites. Okay, and that's about ourselves. Today, we're going to present Taslet, a mobile WMS app for Dynamics. And over the last few years, things have changed in the ERP space, and especially in the Microsoft ERP space, where in the past, if somebody came looking for a requirement that wasn't met as standard out of the box, people tended to ask for some bespoke work to be done to meet the requirement. Whereas these days, everybody is looking to buy standard solutions, and where a requirement isn't standard, add on a Lego block or an add-on or an app to meet that non-standard requirement. And that's in line with Simply Dynamics philosophy as well. We always, even before cloud became prevalent, we always were trying to push people to look at add-ons instead of customization. And the reason for that is, particularly today with cloud products, which are upgraded continuously and automatically in the background, if you've got a standard Business Central or Nav app, and if you've got standard plugins such as Taslet, your upgrades that happen on a continuous basis are seamless. You know, this compares with if you've got lots of unique code built by a developer for your site. On the other hand, then you gotta consider that when it comes to upgrades. Okay, so and as well as that, when you buy something like Taslet as an add-on, instead of buying a bespoke piece of code, you're buying a Microsoft certified add-on, an app, which means it's got that seal of approval from Microsoft. And all that together means as well that you've got a standardized solution. So if you need to move, or if you need to talk to other vendors to support your site, or if you need to move and get a different piece of work done by a different vendor, it's more easy to move than it is if you've got a highly customized site. So, and there on the right hand side, you can see some of our Dynamics 365 customers here in Simply Dynamics. That's us, and that's add-ons. And that's just some of the other add-ons that we resell in Simply Dynamics. Taslet, which you're looking at today, Continua, which is an expense management app for people on the road who want to manage their expenses. Netronic presents visual scheduling and Gantt charts capability in Nav and Business Central, particularly around production environments. If you want to schedule production and you want that to be visually more better to work with, Netronic's the add-on for you. SAN is an e-commerce solution. Continua Document Capture automates the accounts payable process, in particular with importing purchase invoices automatically. And JetReports is an Excel-based report writer. So these are all Lego blocks off-the-shelf add-ons built specifically for Dynamics, and there's thousands of these available on the AppSource marketplace, which is a Microsoft platform. Then before I hand over to Casper, okay, so questions. I'm sure people will have some questions. If you could keep them till the end, and we'll handle them all together if possible. And just so people know, the session is recorded, and you can have access to that recording later on if anybody misses any portion of it. And then as well, after the webinar, get in touch if you would like to. You'll all receive a follow-up anyway, but if you want to arrange a one-to-one session or a more technical one-to-one demo to discuss your individual requirements, it's no problem for myself and Casper. You can just let us know. That's it. I'll hand over to yourself, Casper. Now I'll stop sharing my screen. Okay.
Thank you, Willie. Thank you for the introduction. And I'll just share my screen. I'll just start with a brief presentation of Taslet, so you know who you're dealing with here. That's important for us, and I hope it's important for you guys as well. And the reason we're here today is just for you guys to get the look, the feel, and the logic of this Taslet mobile WMS solution from Microsoft Dynamics. And it is a mobile warehouse data collection tool and solution. And keep in mind that the alternative is the old pen and paper method, or some old technology. So that is basically what we are comparing us to. We have this mobile WMS solution as our core product is what we do, and we integrate directly with Microsoft Dynamics. So just in line with what Willie said, it is standard integration. So everything you can do in Business Central or NAV and in Dynamics ERP systems, you can do on a device. So you go mobile. We were founded back in 2008 by Peter List, who is still very much involved in the business, both strategically and operationally. And we are working with a very flat hierarchy here. So all the organization is very customer centric, and hopefully you can see that in the product in a minute. And we work through a global network of Microsoft certified partners, and Simply Dynamics is a great Irish partner of ours. So yeah, please let us know if you need a session with the Simply Dynamics and ourselves, and we'll be happy to have that one. We're just constantly gaining momentum with our solution. We're really humble about that. At this point, we have more than 1,200 customers around the world. We deal some mobile robots as well, because we like to explore the technology within optimizing warehouses and production floors around the world. We are based in Denmark, and we also have a handful of people in Florida. And of course, we sell the scanners, the devices as well, so you can use us as a one-point shop. This is what we are talking about. This is building on the terminology in NAV, NAV, and Business Central. These are the processes that we're concerned with. The warehousing processes where you receive goods, you put them away in your warehouse, you count them, you move them, you need to locate them. Maybe you need to, maybe you need some assembly or manufacturing, you go with that. You need to pick for it, you need to register some output, some consumption, or you use it for picking. Picking is an essential process, of course, in warehousing and packing and shipping. So this is basically what we cover, and you'll see that in a minute when we go over to the device. We build our solution because we know that a lot of companies are struggling with manual processes, with the lack of data accuracy, poor data accuracy, and with workforce issues in the warehouse. You struggle with misplaced items, with wrong shipments, inefficient picking, and poor basis for decision because your data is not updated, and that causes unhappy customers and supply chain delays. So what you get when you go with a Taslet Mobile WMS solution is you get some digital guidance and control for your warehouse, some simplified processes, and it replaces the pen and paper. And in a minute, you'll see how it works, and hopefully you'll see that the benefits are pretty obvious. We hope so, and we can hear that our customers feel that way, because you get real-time data, you minimize your errors, you're not relying on pen and paper, scribbled notes, or people remembering stuff in their head and going to a PC to type stuff in. And we'll have a closer look in a minute. And just briefly, it's very user-friendly and it's built on Android OS, which means that it's quite similar to what we have in our pockets on our smartphones. So it's really easy to use. We say that 15 minutes after getting a device in your hand, you can go and perform actions in the warehouse. It can be installed in only 2 days, very, very quickly, because it's standard, because it's downloaded from AppSource, as Willie said. It's really easy to customize, but we always recommend to go as standard as beginning, because you get a lot out of the box. And it has online and offline functionality, which means that you'll never lose any data. You download your planned actions to the device, and you go do your registrations, and then you post them when you're online. And this slide is just to show you that we have the devices, we have the ERP system, and here we have a device management system called the Sogee Mobile Control. And I'll jump into that in a minute, because I am remote controlling this device, which makes it possible for you guys to see it. And for the demo, I have some barcodes here, I have some items and some bins on a piece of paper here, so that's what I'll be working on in a second. So I'll just stop sharing this screen and jump over to another screen. And hopefully you're able to see on your screen some items and a device. Yeah, perfect. So this is what we'll be working on here in this demo. And let's just start with the beginning. The first thing you want to do is to log in. And this is the login screen that you'll see. And you can log in by using your credentials. So you can actually scan an ID card with a barcode on it if you have that. But I'll just hit login right here. And I'm brought into the Taslet Mobile WMS. This is what I can see. This is my interface, because I have access to every feature that we have. But in the back end, you can actually limit the access for some users. For example, if you only want your pickers to perform picking, maybe you want them to only see this icon and have access to that. All of that is set up in Business Central in the back end, so it's really easy to control who has access to what. Yeah, and let's just jump into it. This is like all the stuff we can do. We cannot show all of that today. This is just a teaser, but let's have a look at receive, put away, and pick, and maybe a fast look at count and how we can do something unplanned. But I'll just jump straight into doing a receive. So what I'll do now, let's imagine I'm in the warehouse. We just got some goods in, and I want to receive them into the system, into the ERP system. So I hit receive here, and I get a list of all the released receive orders from the back end from Business Central. And here we have 10. You can see that here in this corner here we have 10, but that could be 400. So we have built in a filter here. So if I hit that filter, you can see it's possible for me to filter on the location, on the expected receiving date, PO number, or if the order is specifically assigned to me. But I can also simply just take one of the items that we just received and scan it. In this case, I'll scan the Marabou pistachio chocolate. And that brings me directly into that one order that contains that item. So that's really neat to be able to do that. So now we're in this order, seeing that from London Postmaster. As a warehouse worker, I can easily see what I'm supposed to do here. I can see that I have to receive 10 boxes of Marabou Orange, 15 pieces of Marabou Pistachio, 15 pieces of tea, etc., etc. So it's really straightforward what I need to do now. So what I'll do now, I'll simply just scan the Marabou Orange with the device here, scan the item, and enter the quantity that I'm receiving. And I'm receiving 10 boxes here, and this is set up from the receive order. That is boxes. It could also be pieces, as we'll see in a minute, or anything else you have. And I'll hit the green check mark, and this line turned green. And that means I'm done with that line. The other ones here, they are blue because I haven't started working on them yet, and that's really good help for me as a warehouse worker. And let me just continue. I have to receive 15 pieces of Marabou Pistachio, and I'll scan a Marabou Pistachio. So the system, it validates that this is actually the right item that I'm working on. The barcode helps me with that. But let's say I could only find 10, and I'll simply just hit 10 here. And now we've registered 10 on this line. So it turned orange because it's not completely done. And this is always helping the warehouse workers not to do any mistakes and to know where they're at. The Pocket Peppermint Tea here is interesting because it's lot number tracked. So let's just have a look at how that would look when you have an additional data collection step that you have to collect. I'll simply just scan the Pocket Peppermint Tea. And I'm asked here to set in the expiration date. Here we can see there are 3 steps here of data that I need to collect. And I'll hit the calendar here and put in the expiration date on the items that I'm receiving. And it asks me to scan a lot number. And this is the lot number here. It's on the barcode. I'll simply just scan that. And then I have to type in how many I received. And let's say 10 out of these 15 were with one lot number and 5 were with another lot number. The last 5, they have this barcode. This is GSI Data Matrix barcode, which contains a lot more data. And I'll just scan that barcode now. And as you can see, I'll try to scan it. As you can see here, it jumped these 2 steps here because the data about the expiration date and the lot number is already contained in the barcode. But we can just jump back here and see that was the data. And I'll hit the green check mark. So for now, we can also hit the burger menu down here or long press the line to look at registrations. And here we can see what we just did on that line. So I received 10 pieces with this lot number, and I received 5 pieces with this lot number. So the device always keeps track of what we're doing. And the golf balls, they're basically the same. It's just serial numbers. So it makes sure that you are collecting the data that you set your system up to in the back end. And for serial numbers, it's so cool that if I scan the same serial number twice, I'll get a warning saying I'm not allowed to do that. So you're not receiving the same item twice. And for the Marabou Pistachio here, let's just say that I found the last 5, and I can easily just scan it again or validate that I found them. And now these lines are turned green. So I can also, these are some shortcuts here that you are able to customize which shortcuts you would like. Highlighted functionality. I can add a cross-reference, which means that if I get an item in without a barcode or with a barcode that I haven't seen before, I can add that barcode to the item in the system, and then it's recognized for me to work on with it. I can attach an image. For example, if I receive something that's faulty, that doesn't look good, then I'm able to attach an image. Simply just pressing that, adding an image for the front end and the back end to work together from a device, and that's pretty clever as well. Yeah, and you're able to print, if you need to print some new item labels for some items coming in, you're able to trigger that from a device as well if you have a license for that. But at this point, I just want to hit post. And it tells me that's an unexpected quantity. And that's because I didn't handle the last line here with the golf balls, but that doesn't matter. And I'm asked here to scan a delivery node number, and I'll do that. And that's just because we set our system up to do that. So now we have received these items into our warehouse. And the order is still open here because we still need to work with the last line. We need to handle that. But if I actually handle that line, the order will disappear from this list. And let's move on to put away. We of course support put away in one step or in two steps. So depending on how you do it, that's how it's done. Let's see here. So this should be the order that we just received. Now we want to put them away, and I'm told here that I have to put these 10 boxes away on this particular bin. So as a warehouse worker, I'm always guided to what I'm supposed to do. 10 boxes, this bin, it looks like this, and this is the name of it. So it's really easy for me to go to that particular bin. For these Marabou oranges, it's this bin. So I'll scan the item or the bin first, it doesn't matter. I scan the item, and now I'm scanning the bin to validate that I'm putting them away in the right place and putting in 10. And for the Marabou Pistachio, these are put away in another bin. This was 0002, the other one is 0001. This is the bin next to it. So I'll go there, scan the item that I'm putting away, and scan the bin that I'm putting them away to, the 0001 bin. But let's say that I can see that there's no room for 15, so I can only put in 10. And I'll do that. And it's orange here because we still need to do the last 5. Where should we put them? And I can simply just scan the Marabou Pistachio and say, okay, there's no room on the 0001 bin, so I'll scan the bin next to it because I can see with my eyes that there's room in 0002. And it tells me, okay, this is not what we expected from the system, but as a warehouse worker, I need that bit of flexibility. So I say, yeah, and put in 5. And if we go hit registrations here again from the burger menu or by long pressing the line, we can see that on this line, I put 10 pieces away on this bin and 5 pieces away on this other bin. So that's how put away works. And the same thing here with the pocket peppermint tea that were lot number tracked. We talked about that before. Here we can see that it arrived at our warehouse in one line, but as I registered this with 2 different lot numbers, it has been split into 2. So that's pretty neat as well. And for now, I want to post this. I can do a partly post, as we also saw before. Maybe I need a break or go to a very important meeting. So I'll hit post. And now the put away has been posted. So that was for put away. And pick, we need to go around pick as well. Picking is, of course, essential in any warehouse. So let's see, I need to find the right order here. Let's take this one. Let's take another one. I need this one, 18. So because we have some recognizable items here. Here as a warehouse worker, it's really easy for me to see what I need to do. I need to go to this bin and pick 5 pieces of this particular item. And by scanning my actions, by scanning the items and the bin, then it's impossible for me to make a mistake. And that's what we really like to do. We like to minimize the number of mistakes happening in the warehouse. So I'll go to the bin, scan the bin, and I'll scan the item and how many I'm picking. And I can hit the green check mark, but I could also just scan the next item and we'll move on. But I'll hit the check mark here, and it turned green because we actually did that. And for the tea here, I'll scan the tea, and then I'll scan the bin again to say this is where I'm picking it from. So the system always knows what's the quantity on that bin for that particular item. But here I'm also asked for a lot number. This is the additional data collection step that some of you might have for serial numbers or lot numbers. And we have to make sure that we can track which items is actually handled. So I'll scan the lot number here and how many I'm picking. And now this pick order is done, and it asks me if I want to post it, and I do. You're also able to do tote picking, where you pick for several customers at the time, and some other picking methods. So it depends on how you set your Business Central up. So that was for picking. Let's go into counting. Counting is also essential for warehouses around the world. It's a really a huge time suck, but let's see how fast it can be done here. If I hit count, we have a count order released from Business Central. It's based on the warehouse physical inventory journal. But let's see here. As a warehouse worker, it's really easy for me to see what I need to do. I need to go to this bin. I need to count this item. We have an image and we have a description here. And this is a blinded count, so I cannot just type in what's expected there. You can set that up if you want to, but we recommend not to. But I'll go to that specific bin, scan the bin to validate this bin, to validate what I'm actually working on here is the right place, it's the right bin location that I'm scanning. And then I'm scanning the item, putting in the quantity. And that will be the same for every line down here. Simply really fast, scanning the bin for the stand for the loudspeakers, scanning the item, putting in how many I counted. Same thing for the base speaker unit, scan the item, scan the bin, putting in the quantity, and now that count is done. And for this count order, this is pushed back for the warehouse manager to say, okay, this is what we expected, or if it's not, then he can push it back, the count order back to a device. So this is not updating your ERP system directly. This is in a journal for a manager to approve before it goes and updates the system. But you're actually able to do that if you want to. You can do an unplanned count or adjust quantity where you update directly. And I just want to show you. We have a few minutes before we need to stop. We have this locate item here. This is my favorite part of this solution. I hit locate item. And I scan the Marabou orange that we've been working so much on. And here I can see that I have 60 boxes of these on this particular bin. I have 5 on this particular bin and 1 on this bin. And here it's a 0 out of 5 because these 5 are actually reserved for something else. Maybe it's for a sales order. So I'm not able to handle them. But I can handle these 60 boxes. So I can go do an unplanned count because I highlighted it down here. I can just hit it here. And I have to scan the item, scan the bin that I'm doing an adjustment on. And then I can see with my eyes that only 55 was there and not the 60. And if we go one step back, we are back in locate item. And locate item gets the data directly from Business Central. And we can see now that we only have 55 of these on that particular bin. So we updated the system directly, but as a warehouse worker, I always get real-time correct information. Also, we can always do a move. Let's see here, we move stuff around in the warehouse. We have a move order here where you're told exactly what to do. You have to move a loudspeaker from this bin to this bin, and this is the quantity. And you always see, you already saw the logic and the look and the feel. So let me just tap my way through it without scanning. This is the bin that I'm taking it from. I could scan that or tap it with my finger. This is how many loudspeakers I'm taking. And it turned orange because I'm not done yet. I haven't put them away on the new bin yet, because maybe I could take my trolley and bring the manuals for the loudspeakers with me. But let's just go and put them away on the right bin. I'll scan the bin that I'm putting them away on, the quantity, and now they have been moved. So that's how fast you can do a move order. Yeah, let's just say stay, and I'll post it. And the final thing I want to show you before we go into a Q&A is that you can also do an unplanned move. So if we hit locate item again, we have the orange chocolate here. We have 55. We know the bin that they're on. They're all on this bin, but maybe I need to move them somewhere. So I hit unplanned move down here, and I have to scan the bin that I'm moving stuff from and the unit of measure, because I'm moving boxes here, but it could also be pieces. And that was boxes. And how many I want to move. And let's say I want to move 10, and I'll move them to the bin next to it for some reason. And if we go back one step, we can see that the system is updated. Now we have 45 on the 0002 bin, and we have 10 on the 0001 bin. So this was basically, this was really basic, the look and feel and the logic of our solution. You can see that we have some other functionality here as well, production for you guys who have manufacturing companies, also interesting. Yeah, so I think that was the light demo and the teaser for Taslet.
Very good. Very good, Casper. Thank you.
Thank you, Casper.
Welcome. Very nice.
If anybody has any questions, you can unmute yourself or you can type them into the chat. If not, we can save them for a follow-on session anyway. No big deal.
Yeah.
People are allowed to unmute themselves, Aileen, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we'll be happy to have a one-on-one session, a demo session where we go more into depth together with Simply Dynamics, of course. So reach out if you need that.
Yeah. Maybe there's no excuse me. There's no questions. I don't think Casper by the looks of it in the chat or amongst the people. So we can wrap it up then, I guess. And as Casper said, if somebody wants to have a one-to-one meeting to discuss their own individual requirements and get pricing, etc., we can organize that.
Absolutely.
Great.
Okay, great.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
everybody.
Thanks, Casper.
Thanks.
Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you, everyone.
Thanks for
Bye-bye.
attending. Cheers.